Hey everyone, it is Rushni of Glamazini.com bringing you light and laughter per usual. And today we have a special guest with us. I am so excited. First of all, we are a few minutes late because the technology will not let us be great. The way that Instagram is set up, it will not let us stream using this wonderful broadcasting software that lets us stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So we've been back here trying to figure it out. We have not figured it out. But if the Lord lets us figure it out, we will do so. So as people start coming in, I am going to go ahead and get started. Today, I am starting a series that I'm going to call Intentional Joy. That's the working title. Why not? Okay, because you guys know I'm all about light and laughter and intentionally on purpose creating your joy. And so I am going to bring guests to talk to me about how they create joy and share their topic with us. And today we have with us GalandaB, the mindset strategist, also my longtime internet friend. You know how you have that like friend who you've been talking to on the internet forever? Like you've been talking to this person, never met them in person. She has sent me plants. They are in my home growing. She is wonderful. And I have her on today. Hi,
everybody. Hey.
Hi, everybody.
And not only have I sent you plants, but I still have the rubber ducky that you sent me like, I don't even know how long ago. It's in my guest bathroom. Yep. I still have it.
Wait, if you guys, okay, so a lot of people, especially on the Facebook page, are newer to me, right? So they don't know about these rubber duckies.
Oh, they don't know about the duckies.
Okay?
Oh, my bad.
All y'all know is these pineapples, right? That I have back here. Y'all know the pineapple life. The rubber ducky was the original totem of my joy. If we're gonna start talking about it from back in the day, the rubber ducky was when. If you see me looking over here, you guys, it's because I'm fiddling with Instagram, still trying to get live. The rubber ducky was the beginning of me, honestly, being intentional about choosing joy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me taking a visual symbol and reminding myself that I could choose it. So it's funny that you still have that because I did used to send those to people. And then it like transitioned to Sunshine Bear. You see the theme. And then, of course, here's a pineapple.
Yes.
Okay, so Galanda, I'm going to take 1 second, you guys, to see if Instagram will let me go live.
Okay.
It's saying there's still an error with my broadcast, so we're going to leave Instagram out of it. And what I'll do is after the fact, I will upload it and I will give you access to what I uploaded if you need to put it somewhere. And we're going to make it do what it do. Let's talk about joy. Let's talk about mindset.
Yes,
First of all, I told people who you are to me. Tell people who you are.
So I am GalandaB, known as the Mindset Strategist, aka Miss G, aka the Garden Plant Obsessed Lady. And what I do is I help people to retrain the way that they think about their everyday lives, whether it be their personal or their professional lives. And I use a ton of plant analogies because I am plant obsessed. And so that is like my focus. And I also use mindfulness, which is the basis for a lot of the practices that I share with people. So
that's awesome. Can you, okay, so let's get right into it because I have heard of the concept of mindfulness because when you live on the internet and you're into personal development, mental health, spirituality, like I am, like you are, it's a buzzword. So can you, in your own words, define what mindfulness is and how you help people create a strategy for this thing?
Sure. So in the plain everyday terms, mindfulness is being in the moment, not thinking about what happened before, not thinking about what's going to happen, but being present with what is going on, whether that is something that you perceive as positive or something that you perceive as negative. So mindfulness says, I'm going to be in this moment. One of the key pieces that I help people understand is being in the moment is doing it without judgment. So even though I reference that it might feel positive or negative, you look at it like almost like you're a reporter Like you're not exactly part of what's going on. It is happening to you, but when you use mindfulness, you kind of step outside of yourself and look at it from the outside and say, okay, well, what's going on here? What really is the deal here? That's the regular version. But the key part is without judgment, because we quickly get caught up in our emotions, and then that's when things kind of go awry. So it's the non judgment piece. I like to help people say, okay, pretend you're a reporter. Like a reporter is not part of the story, but they're watching everything that's going on with the story. And that's what you kind of do with yourself.
Okay, Galanda, that sounds wonderful in theory, but how? Listen, I'm here for
It
real.
is.
Okay, I'm listening to you, and I'm just like, gosh, that sounds so incredible. But how does one? So you're saying no judgment. That's loaded. That's
It
loaded to
is.
get to a place of no judgment. But I could totally see how that could get you to a place of joy. I'm interested in, like, go deeper for me. So one, I'm interested in how you got interested in talking about mindset in the first place, and how in the world are you helping people not judge their experiences? Quick side note,
Okay.
on last week's coach, well, this week, Tuesday, what day is it? I know what day it is. Hello. Tuesday's coaching call. That was part of what I was talking to them about with respect to learning optimism. It was part of the steps of becoming more optimistic. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say about stepping outside of the thing and not judging it.
So I think it is. It is a tricky thing to step outside of yourself, and it is a practice. So that's the number one thing that I like to tell people. It's not an end goal. You're not crossing the finishing line to non-judgment. This is an ongoing practice. You do it all the time. You do it continuously.
And
And
it starts gradually and it
yeah,
builds.
absolutely. It's a gradual thing, and it's one of the things that people who, I will admit, I'm part of this club, of the Reformed Perfectionist Club, have to realize is there is no perfection in it. It is just what it is, right?
Ma'am, I just put up a whole post about perfectionism today.
Listen, we need a whole Perfectionist Anonymous, but that's like a whole separate kind of talk, right? So the part about the non-judgment is well, one of the questions you ask is, how do I not judge what's going on in the moment? So
Mhm.
you have to learn what tools work for you to give you the pause, because the answer is in the in between.
Girl, I thought the video had froze. You paused and you did that thing so perfectly. I was like, oh no, the
No,
technology
no, no.
done went awry.
The answer is in the pause, right? Like, so you're experiencing something and it's getting whatever it is, and we're reacting to it. And so you have to figure out for yourself, which, there's lots of tools that you can use. You figure out yourself, what is the tool that I could use to get that pause? Because in the pause is where you get additional options. When we automatically react, there is no options. It's just the reaction. But if you can find that little bit of space for the pause, then
Mhm.
you're like, oh, I can do A, B, and C. I don't have to necessarily do D. And so you try to learn. So there's a couple of ways that you can learn to get to the pause. I like, which some people don't care for, is when we were kind of in person, and excuse my cat, I see he's woken up, so he might be really loud. I
It's okay.
apologize.
Excuse my son. He's downstairs
Yeah.
playing video games and he does not care that I'm live on the internet.
Yeah, I should have closed my door and locked him in there, but I didn't. But what I like is, if you are feeling emotion welling up, changing your orientation to whomever you're speaking to is a big thing. So if I'm looking at you and we're simply turning and taking a breath can give you that pause, to give you the space to look outside or see more of the situation than if you continue to look directly at the person. And some people feel uncomfortable with this because people are like, oh, you're disrespecting me, you're not looking at me, whatever. But really I'm keeping myself from going to jail or needing bail money by turning sideways for this moment and seeing what additional options are available to me. So changing your physical orientation from whatever it is going on, even if it's on a live, right? Like if you're in a meeting and you're feeling,
No, if you what, Buck?
huh? Just saying, and looking one side or the other can give you a different perspective. And just taking a single breath, some people be like, take 3 breaths, take 5 breaths. One breath at a time is my philosophy. Take one breath. Okay, you got the one breath down. Okay, cool. Take another breath. And then you'll see the options of how you can respond and react to whatever the situation is. You get more options. But if you stay right in it, there's only one response most of the times, and it's not always to the other person's benefit, and sometimes not to yours either.
Okay, I love what you are saying because I have been very I've been very interested in the concept of joy. Why? Because I have a diagnosis of depression and PTSD. And so those diagnoses tend to come with lack of joy. Okay. Um, Lots of stuff in life that, how the church people say, stole my joy. Okay. And right. And so for many years, just like you pointed out with the ducky, that had to be, I don't know how long ago I sent you that. Many years ago.
Many.
I have been fascinated with the idea of agency to create your joy. If you look at my taglines on my pages, it says create your joy. And if you guys notice, when you're seeing what I'm talking about, there's a lot of laughter, but there's also a lot of light, right? So what I love about what you're saying is in the pause, there is an option. And I've been kind of trying to come up with a definition of joy for myself. And I haven't totally solidified it yet. But what I love is that part of my definition has to do with stability, like a stabilizing effect. And so when I heard you say in the pause, you're availed to more options, I was like, that's the stability. Like I see the connection. There's a stability there because my experience of being intentional with creating what I experience as joy has this strong component of stability. I've never thought of it as mindfulness, and I'm gonna lie, I listen, I love all of the topics, but I've never thought of it as that. I've also never thought of options being availed in a pause. Although I'm doing that over here without even realizing it. And it is contributing to what I consider to be my experience of agency over my joy. So that's why I was like, oh, that's so good. Because
people, I think people, the frustration, the anger, the things that are associated with negative emotions have to do with not having options. They think that there's only one way to go. There's only one
I get that. I get that.
Right? And I feel deeply that when you can choose, right, you have a choice in the matter, then your ability to obtain and retain joy increases. It's when you don't feel like you have a choice that joy feels like it's kind of sucked out of you.
Like you don't have any. Listen, okay, so go more into that because you were just saying choice, which is another one of my favorite words. Okay, it's choice. It's a choice. I know my coaching clients are sick of me when I'm like, it's a choice, and they're just like, and I'm like, it's a hard choice. It's a difficult choice. It's a choice where you have to unlearn a lot of your things. It's a choice where you might have to uphold and enforce a boundary. It's a choice where you might have to utter a boundary. It's a choice. These are choices, right? So go more into that because I'm interested, especially when you're working with people, because you have clients too. You have coaching clients and all that, right? So if you guys need to get your mindset strategized, if you like what Galanda is putting down, definitely I put links in the information box and I'll drop them also later. Zion is making so much noise. Hopefully you guys cannot.
No.
Anyway, and my husband's making noise too, and he is an adult. Okay, Galanda.
Oh, listen, husbands are sometimes adult children.
No, he is an
adult. You didn't hear from me.
I think so. Anyway, so go into that choice part, because how do you in your own life optimize choices, realize moments of choice? What do you do to maximize that outcome? Because that's hard. Okay.
It is. It is. It
That
is hard.
powerlessness, victim. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The other day I heard somebody say sometimes we go from victim to volunteer, and I almost fell off the chair. I was like,
Mm-hmm. It is. I think I want to start by saying that even the process, the practice of choosing is an ongoing thing. Like, I think people think that like you just do it and it is. It's all the time. Like, it's not like, okay, I choose, I'm going to choose myself, and then that's going to be it from now. No, it's every time a situation comes up.
mm-hmm.
It's like everything. And the key thing here for me, at least from my perspective, is that you only have agency over yourself.
Listen, say that again for the people in the back. Because one of
Okay?
the things, let me know, say it again. For me,
You
I'm the people in the
only,
back.
you only have agency over yourself. Even if you're a parent, even if you are a spouse, even you are a friend, daughter, whatever, you only have agency over yourself.
Okay,
So as
Galanda, give me
much
one
as we
second. Let
want
me see
to.
if I can get on Instagram Live right now. If
Okay.
it'll let me in.
All right. And
I need people to hear it. Oh, it let me in, Galanda. We
okay,
live.
well let me see if I can hop
YouTube,
on.
Facebook, give me 1 second. Instagram. Why y'all gotta be so tricky? Galanda and I have been talking for 15, 20 minutes already. If you were looking for us, you didn't miss anything. Y'all know how Instagram be doing. I'm going to wait for Galanda to send me a request, or
Okay,
if
request to join.
there,
Send request.
and we're going to continue this incredible conversation. She was just dropping hot fire about the fact that the only person you have agency over is yourself. And I was like, say it again for the people in the back who are me, because I had to learn that.
Yay, we're
Oh,
on Instagram too.
technology dance. Hey, look at us. Okay, you guys. So Instagram, I'm not
Woo!
going to
Okay,
do.
hold up a second because I
Yeah,
have like
turn
I don't know how to hold on.
turn
Let's
your sound down on that side.
how do I do that?
Instagram, if somebody can comment and give us a second. Facebook, YouTube, we appreciate you. You know how technology goes. We tried to do it beforehand, but y'all saw
We did.
it wasn't trying to let us be great.
It was
If
not.
people on Instagram can let us know if you can
If
hear
people
us.
on Instagram can let us know if you hold on 1 second. This is an iPhone, which I don't know anything about. So
Can you turn the sound down?
can you turn the sound down?
Oh, I'm echoing. I hear myself.
I hear myself. Hold on, I got it. I think I got it now.
And this is good. I'm gonna put this up on the screen, Avril Sunflower. Some people might not understand what agency that. That's why I was like, ooh, let me try Instagram again, because she getting good. And this is where I need people to know where the joy resides, where the joy resides, where the joy resides.
I don't know how to turn the sound off, Roshni.
On your, I don't have an iPhone. iPhone people.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try one more thing.
They're saying they can hear me, but not you on Instagram.
Oh.
They're saying they can hear me. Thank you, Coy. They're saying they can hear me, but not you.
Okay,
Listen,
wait a
if
minute.
it's too much, I'll jump off. And everybody on Instagram, we are literally live right now on my YouTube and Facebook pages. If you go to my Instagram bio and click the link, scroll all the way down to the bottom, pick your poison. We are live right now. So just let me know, hun. Yeah, Avril Sunflower brings up a good point. Okay, I don't want you to be fragile.
Yeah, I can't figure it out.
Huh?
I can't figure it out.
Okay. Instagram.
We're gonna have to test that separately. We can
fine. Give me 1 second here. Instagram. I apologize. I had technical issues on my end when we were trying to start, and now I wanted y'all to hear this juiciness about agency. Okay, so come over to my
YouTube.
Go to my page, click on the link, scroll to the bottom, pick one of the Facebook or YouTube links, and I am live right now. And we're gonna get back into this conversation about agency, because if y'all want to get your joy, okay, you got to learn you can't control other people. I need Galanda to tell you. So I'm gonna go, and I'll see you guys there.
Yes. Dang, I was really hoping that would work, but I don't know.
It's fine. We tried. Listen, I've been on many a thing, and people do it. and I was going to do it too. Okay, go back. I'm sorry to
Okay,
stop your
so
train of thought, but
Avril, thank you, Avril, for saying that some people may not understand what agency means. What that means is you only have control of you and your responses. You cannot control how anyone else feels and how they respond to whatever the situation is. The only control you have is over yourself
mhm.
and your responses. That is what agency is about.
You don't have control over their behaviors. You don't have control over their emotions. You don't
Mm-mm,
have control over their thoughts. Okay?
mm-mm.
I'm going to tell you something. There is a fount, hello, of joy when you finally realize, because the other part of the definition of joy that I've been toying with beyond stability is contentment. And there's just this deep contentment when you finally own your power or your agency. See, Avril is out here preaching in the comments. I'm gonna just put that up. Your control of self. Hello. Okay. For the biblical people, for self-control. All right. For the people who want to go in the Bible. Okay. For the people who aren't in the Bible, control yourself. Worry about yourself. Mind your own business.
Right.
Master yourself. Okay. I got a bracelet on right now. A few years ago. You see that? It says mastery. A few years ago, I had a breakdown with a friend. And I kid you not, God was like, I'm going to need you to worry about yourself.
Hmm.
I'm going to need you to do a lot of self work. And when I tell you that was the most result I got in the space of changes in my life, changes in my mind, agency over my joy, like setting boundaries, when I turned it inward.
Yep.
That's why I'm like,
Absolutely.
y'all want to get joyous? Anybody out there don't have no joy and they feel like they need to understand how this can affect that experience. That is right there. The fact that you can't control other, listen, the fact nobody makes you feel anything. How
Eh,
about that?
Hello. Come
Say
on.
that, Galanda. Nobody makes you feel anything.
They
You made
don't.
me feel, no, you felt. There's a
Exactly.
difference.
And I think that there is, some inclination that you want to place some blame, give it over to someone else
Mhm.
that they force something on you, but it really isn't. It is really all about you. And when you do that, then from my personal, just a little tidbit of my own personal story. I had a long-term relationship. I was married. I am no longer married. We're still friends, however. But when I realized that what I did and my choices and my behavior had nothing to do with his choices and his behavior, my whole world changed. And translate that to every other relationship you have. Relationship with your parents,
Mhm.
relationship with your siblings, relationship with your friends. You no longer get super, agitated around what other people do because you realize you don't have any control over that. Now, don't get me wrong. Recently a friend of mine shared where a situation where I felt like her son was getting targeted as like my nephew, them adopted nephews, and I was like about to ready to go up to the school even if
Well,
she
yeah, that
wasn't.
was that was the breakdown in my friendship. I was trying to protect kids, and the therapist spent a month telling me those weren't my kids. And I was like, "What you say now?" It took me a month in therapy, weekly visits, for this person to get into my brain the concept. That's why God was like, "Worry about yourself." So
Worry about
I was
yourself.
like,
That little
"Protect
girl,
the children,"
listen,
and
the
she was like,
knowledge
"Not
from
your children."
children, the children be speaking. Like, we need to stop shushing them because they be telling the truth, right? So when you learn that you can only control yourself, then one, not only do you become less agitated, because then start to have more empathy for people because their situation is not your situation. So their choices reflect what their environment and their life experience has. And then you can have more empathy and give them more grace and not be so agitated.
And realize that you have the power to decide whether you do or do not interact with them. There,
Oh, absolutely.
there's a
Oh, absolutely.
powerlessness. Maybe I should add something about power. Let me type that down. Girl, I literally have something over here where I'm working on my own definition of joy based off of my experience of recreating something I felt was gone. And there's a powerlessness that trails people who lack joy. I remember many years ago, I was watching a YouTube video and the lady said depression was a choice. I got mad and I unfollowed her, right? Now listen, because I'm actually going to redeem her. She said she had a depression diagnosis. She said it was a choice. It's probably the only time I went back and forth in any YouTube comment with anybody, because typically I just ignore people. Twice a year I come in, I say something hot mo to somebody, giggle while I leave, and then never go back.
I'll just say
anyway, just as a guilty pleasure, I just choose to do that. So, I still remember a really good singer one time. I'll tell you about it later. It brings joy to me every time I think about it. It's probably was 3 years ago that I hit him with that one. So I was going back and forth. I unfollowed her. I was like, right? It wasn't until I did a lot of work that I realized what she was saying. It wasn't that she was saying carte blanche, somebody with the actual depression diagnosis, that's a choice. You could just flip a switch and change it. What I understood her to be saying when I thought about it from a new vantage point, dare I say a new mindset, hello, a renewed version of it was, there are components of your experience that you are choosing and you have agency over.
Absolutely.
The more you figure out what those components are, the less likely you're going to be depressed. So
absolutely,
if there's physiology, if there's psychology, if there's spirituality, if there's all of the ologies, and maybe you have a physiological reason why you're depressed. Maybe there's some brain chemicals off. Maybe your food is affecting you. For me, food was affecting me. I didn't know that when food was affecting me. I changed my diet and the lights came on and I was like, what the, right?
Absolutely.
That was a choice. I had to choose. I still don't get to eat all the things that I want to eat because I know that they will affect my body a certain way and I choose something different. Right. There were things relationally that I thought I was powerless in, right? Or I was behaving in a way that was trauma informed and I didn't even know I was doing it. But like you just said, when I figured out I was doing it, and I did the practice of learning how to not do it. Oh my God, what depression? Like it started to lift off of me to the point that I'm not going to say I'm not depressed, but what I'm going to say is the version or the experience that I had of lacking joy that was years ago, a consistent pit of blackness that I was in. Clearly, you guys see I'm not in it. Okay, I'm on the internet doling out pineapples to people.
Yeah. And I think one thing I want to, emphasize in that is once you realize it's not, you don't lament the time that you didn't. You simply say, I give thanks for now understanding. This is what some people would call a trigger for me. And now I have a choice to do something different.
That's so good. That's good. I had a coaching client yesterday ask me that, why I don't lament something. We have comparable things that have happened, and she was grieving. And I get that. And I get grief. And grief is a very healthy thing.
It is.
You got to allow yourself to do. That's another thing about joy. You got to let yourself feel your stuff.
Absolutely.
Ignoring and dissociating and all of that. I was doing that too. And that don't bring you happiness. Okay,
It don't. And let me just really interject here because you're a coach, I'm a coach. I don't think the coach is the end all to be on. Get you a therapist. If you are dealing with somebody who, listen, I believe everybody should go to therapy. Even if you go to therapy once a year, twice a year, 4 times a year, everybody deserves, it is your innate right as a person to be happy and self-care, to have someone to work with you, listen to you, talk with you about whatever. That therapy, along with some other resources, can help you to get to where you need to go.
Yeah. So listen, you preaching to the choir, the pastor, the deacon board. I built the church, girl. Everybody needs to go see a therapist in my book. All of us, all of us. Okay, like you said, it's your right.
It
It's
is
self-care. It's healthy maintenance of the mind and the spirit. It's a
right there.
um,
Healthy maintenance of the mind.
it's a safe and restorative experience for a person who can reflect back to you your experiences, your traumas, your everything in a safe, restorative environment so that you can get what you didn't get from mommy, Pookie, I mean, all of them treated you crazy. And then when you tell this person that, they are trained. So listen, everybody go to therapy.
Right.
But what I was telling you is the question was, why was I not lamenting? Or why was I, how did I get out of the space of lamenting it? And I said, this is going to sound really weird, but, or the question was, why are you not lamenting it? Have you already grieved it? I said, well, I think I probably have already grieved it, and that's a valuable step. So that's part of it. I said the other reason why I'm probably not in that place about a very comparable thing is I have a different expectation of life. My expectation of life has shifted where I don't have this everything will be rainbow, sunshine, and ironically pineapples. I don't. I was like,
Well,
listen, the sun is shining on the just and the unjust for the biblical people. If I had an expectation that everything, I heard somebody say one time, the reason why Christians specifically don't do well with pain and suffering is because we think it's not going to happen to us. Somebody sold us a bill of goods. Do you have a plan for your pain? Hello? I was like, so I think the reason why I'm experiencing it differently in this season of my life is I look at God as an anchor, not as a vending machine, right? I look at my mental health as an anchor. It's holding me as life is happening. It's anchoring me. It's kind of what you were talking about. It's giving me a centered pause place that I return to.
yes.
Because I'm so informed about who I am and I'm honoring that. So the expectation that this person's going to fill me and that person's going to do this and this person did this to me, it has slowly faded away from me. And because of that, that's why I'm right. I said, oh, I don't know if you know this. I have a kid and I own 3 wheelchairs. If I hadn't gotten myself to this place I own 3, not one, I own 3 wheelchairs. Okay. You got to get to some place in your mind where there's joy that still happens. And even in the environment of what's going on with my son, right? Because if I didn't shift my mindset, Galanda, I would have gone crazy. Did you hear me? I got a depression diagnosis and I own 3 wheelchairs for my kid. Hello. And I'm still sunshine. Hello.
Absolutely. And I think, this makes me think of, we're talking about how can I have more joy? How can I get rid of this kind of stinking thinking? And the key, we're talking about mindfulness, we're talking about mindset, but the key is gratitude. This is if you're looking for the magic sprinkles, here's the sprinkles for y'all, it's gratitude. And there is something to be grateful for in everything. Everything. In every moment, in every situation, there's always something to be grateful for. Listen, I live in Baltimore City, and you may or may not know about Baltimore City. And I live right near a very large homeless population, and there's a woman who is outside on the street on the corner from where I live at. But, I went out, talked to her, I've given her some things, but she even had gratitude that she was blessed with some place to stay, right? It's a hotel, it's impermanent, but she still has some place to lay her head that's safe. She might be outside all day, every day, but when she go to sleep at night, she has some place safe to stay. Now that's an extreme kind of situation, and most of us are not experiencing that. But it can be as simple as, I'm grateful I got a bagel today and I don't have to go out and get something to eat. Right? I'm grateful for this ginger ale because I really wanted something sweet and I don't feel like going anywhere. Right? The gratitude really can boost your joy factor in no time when you start to think about the little things. And I think it's the little things that people are like, oh, that's not a big thing, but everything is a big thing.
I was just about to say that.
Everything is a big thing.
all of the things that work. Y'all, it's the little things add
Mhm.
up to the big things. When somebody tells you to learn to stop and take a breath and you discount that, you're
Mm.
discounting something that works in a way that you don't even understand. Let me tell you something about breath work. The more I study breath work, the more I understand that just learning to deep breathe into your abdomen can get your prefrontal cortex back online. What is that for, Rushni? When you are in panic and trauma, you're
Yep.
all in your amygdala. That's part of your
Yep.
brain. It's the part that's fight and flight and freeze and for all of those things. You are
Yep.
panicked. Taking a
Absolutely.
breath, the thing that people discount, they pish posh. Nah, take no breath. But it clicks back into the front part of your brain, which is where the executive functioning is. What does that mean, Rushni? It's the adult part. It's the thinking, rational part. It's the calm part Galanda is talking about that gives you the options. So don't discount
Exactly.
the small stuff. Okay?
Listen.
That gratitude thing, let me tell you something. I shifted. I was part of a program a few years ago, and this lady had me doing all of the little things: bath, detox bath, meditation, gratitude stuff. And I was just like, I mean, I did it just because I was like, I paid money. I'm gonna do what she say. But at the same time, I
Mhm.
was like, ugh, all the little things. When I tell you, it changed my life. You hear me say that woman changed my life? To
Mhm.
this day, probably every day for the past 4 years, when I open my eyes, even when I have a crazy dream. I had a crazy dream this week. I open my eyes. I make an intention where I say some things I'm grateful for. First thing I put my mind on is grateful. Listen, I
Absolutely.
go everywhere, you guys. Thank you for this ceiling fan. I'm so happy you showed me an easy way to clean it. Lord, I'm gonna have a conversation with Galanda later. Isn't Galanda great? She's a great person. I like her a lot. Ooh, I don't know
Listen.
what head wrap I'm gonna wear today. She gonna be cute. But listen, I
Hello.
be talking even when I wake up in a weird dream. I had a crazy dream this week. And because I practiced the gratitude all this time, it's automatic. I opened my eyes and I said, whoo, I said, Lord, what was that? That was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I thought, oh no, I have to say my gratitude stuff. Well, I'm grateful that I'm awake and that was a dream.
Hello.
Instantly. It will change your brain, you guys. People
Listen.
discount that. It'll change how you look at the world.
It
It'll
changed your
shift
whole day.
completely.
Look, you
It'll
talk
shift
about
you.
you grateful for being alive. When I wake up, I be like, ooh, I'm so grateful for this pillow.
Hello? I just got that new purple mattress and the new purple pillow. You know the the ad with the purple mattress and the purple
Yes,
pillow.
you
Hello.
fancy. You fancy.
Listen, my husband is the one that was like, "You want to get the purple mattress?" But I was like, "I don't know. I mean, whatever." But listen, my back don't hurt anymore, y'all. I'm
Hello.
44 years old. Okay, now the mattress is heavy. It's kind of crazy heavy, but my back doesn't hurt anymore. So hello, there's that. But I'm grateful. Listen, girl, I
Man.
spray my pillows before I go to bed with lavenders. I be spray. Look, I got. Listen, this is the office spray. I spray my chair with this just
See,
because I'm
you with the
not.
spray. That's how I am with the incense. I have incense everywhere in my hall, like in my stairwell. I be like, ooh,
I
thank you
burn
for this
incense every
incense
morning. There's like a
all
repetitive
day.
pattern, and I do it. So okay, so I wanted to keep you 30 minutes. Let me stay there, but we went
Okay.
over it because I like you.
It was technology fault.
Instagram,
We on schedule. We on
yes,
schedule. It was
Instagram
technology
screwed with
fault.
us a little bit. Hey, you guys, I see you. So I want to start wrapping up at the, let's see, we're at 6:43. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this conversation with Galanda. Once again, this is GalandaB. She is the mindset strategist. If you would like to work with Galanda, I have put her links in my link. So you can check out GalandaB.com. You can find her on Instagram at GalandaB. And if you go to my flow page links that are there, she is one of the options. I will keep her all the way through the
Thank
weekend, but that's
you.
how you find her if you ever want to work with her. Galanda, talk a little bit more about just some of the other things that you work with when it comes to mindset with your clients. I know, so you haven't brought this up. You mildly talked about plants. You haven't brought up the fact that you teach yoga. What are you
I
doing?
didn't.
Tell the
I
people.
do. I do. I teach yoga, but I guess the reason that I don't really think about it because yoga is lifestyle for me. It's not a thing that I do separately. Yoga for me is like breathing, like it's just part of the life. So I guess what I would like to share about yoga is that a lot of people see yoga as fitness, like how to get in shape, how to be more flexible. But yoga really is a scientific philosophy for living.
Mm.
And it teaches you, a way to move through this world. So I do what I would consider mental yoga. I mean, I do some physical practice as well, but I do a lot more that has to do with your mind and training your mind and your emotions and things of that nature. I'm actually in yoga teacher training again.
Hmm. And she said
With
she wasn't going to be in, but she is. See, I be coming in later. I never come in hot on the live. I'm always like second or third service. So when you do a live, I come in later. Before
Yeah, I said after last year that I was going to take a break and integrate, which I have integrated with the training that I've had. But Ashley Turner she is a licensed therapist who has done, I want to say, nearly close to 20 years worth of work in yoga philosophy, in addition to her licensed therapy work.
right.
And she has a program called Yoga Psyche Soul that I'm in, which um, helps to marry the combination of yoga philosophy and Western psychology.
Hmm.
So that's the program that I'm in now, where I'm just wanting to deepen and strengthen my understanding of psychology, how it works. That's one thing me and Rushni have in common. I'm all about the neuroscience.
Listen,
I'm all
if you
about the
saw my
psychology.
lifespan, it's
I
ridiculous.
took, I think in 2020, I think I took 4 psychology classes. I'm not trying to get no another degree.
I
I don't have
started
no
a
major.
psychology degree. I never finished it. I'm going to finish it because it's getting out of hand right now.
Yeah, I just took the classes because I'm so interested in how the mind works and how we kind of respond to things. So, a lot of my practices come from yoga, but it's really, even before that, was, kind of based in mindfulness. So I think you said at the beginning, what are some of the other things to kind of help, right?
Hmm.
So I mentioned the plants. I am a plant obsessed person. I won't even name how many plants, and I have at least 3 garden places. But if you are not a plant person, that's fine. There's other ways to help ground you. I think you mentioned this too, Rashni, is that, you want to get grounded. And you're like, when you're in the heat of the moment and the emotions, how do you do that? So one of the things is having something physical as a reminder, as a touch. So I have on today some bracelets, right? I have some bracelets on both arms. And my friend Rachel creates these, Rachel J Designs on Instagram. And they have a variety of stones. And sometimes when you need something just to touch, to bring you out of whatever you're in, is a good way to do it. Yep. So if you have bracelets, that's a good way to do it with different stones if that's important to you, or it doesn't have to be, right? I
Hmm.
also, you might have a necklace that means something to you, something physical to touch. For those people who still work in an office, grab the back of the chair, the edge of the table. The physical touch and focusing on that physical connection can help ground you and then help you move from the emotion to that space that you need to see what your options
Where you
are,
have a choice. Nice.
where you have a choice. So I like that. I think a lot of practitioners focus on the breath, but the breath is good, but the breath also tells you when something is off. So just think about it, whether you're a child or an adult. When you are agitated, your breath goes, you get quick, and sometimes that's difficult to control. So using something physical touch to help ground you gives you the space to be able to see the options that are available to you. Having practices like Rushni and I have already kind of mentioned, whether it be burning incense, burning candles. I'm a big believer in aromatherapy. Right. And that's really what this all comes down to, is aromatherapy. And it don't have to be fancy. You like oranges, peel an orange, and instead of immediately putting the orange peel in the trash, just give it a little whiff. The orange scent is known to help bring up your energy, right? To
Hmm.
help lighten your mood. So if you're feeling kind of funky, eat an orange and just kind of rub the orange peel and hold your hand next to your face.
Okay, stop right there, Galanda. I want to say something about what you're talking about. You guys, these are those small things, and a lot of them are sensory. So if you're ever looking for something to honor, I call it honoring, to bring up higher in importance, sensory stuff will soothe you. Somehow we know sensory stuff soothes a baby, and then the minute we become adults, we act like we're not a big baby. You're a big baby. What you can
Right.
see, what you can touch. She's talking about what you can touch. I am also big on smells. Candle. Did you hear me say I have a spray in my office to spray my chair? I got diffusers going. I needed to smell, you know what I mean? What you can hear, music, and all,
That was going to be my next
all
one.
of the things. What you can, it's use your sense, what you can take, it's your senses absolutely contribute to calming you. Do not discount that. That's one of those things that people always, the little things. And then when they try it, I'm like, try it, you'll like it. Okay.
Yeah,
This
these
person saying they like
sensory
cinnamon.
things speak to your basic needs, right? The things that if you, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit of psychology, just a
Go
little
for it.
teeny bit, right? In the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your base needs are, food, shelter, being able to have nourishment. And if you go back to these base things to start out with, that's where your comfort really lies. A lot of the agitation we had is mental, right? It's up in these kind of higher things, and you need to bring it down to the base things, which is, touch, smell, feel, whatever the senses are. One of my favorite things and one of my favorite workshops that I do sometimes with organizations is mindful eating, right? When we go through our life, we're kind of like just grabbing food as we can in between doing things. But think about the times when you really take the time to pay attention to your food and how it feels as you look at it, the colors, the smell of it, the temperature of the food. Those are all basic things. And then how you feel after you eat. You feel very content and settled when you take that time. So when you use these kind of what most people would consider small, but I consider very significant things in your daily life, this is how you have more joy.
This is it.
Listen,
You
you can
guys.
have joy from a raisin. If you are on a sugar fast and you're not supposed to have sugar and you get to eat a raisin, which can be very sweet. I know some people don't like raisins, but anywho, right? The joy, the sensory perception of that experience can bring you a lot of joy.
And these are things you have control over, you guys. And
Absolutely.
so these are the things that you start to gradually add into your life that is retraining you to understand agency. Because if you wake up in the morning and you look how you want to look, and you're dressed how you want to dress, and your room or your home smells how you want it to, like you feel, you start applying this powerful feeling to other things and realizing, oh, I do have choices. I mean, I have the smallest example, Galanda. How I store my soap in my bathroom, right?
Okay.
We buy the big packs of soap from Costco. They are in these cumbersome boxes of 4 or 5 that are taped closed, and then there's 3 of those boxes together. Without fail, you will rush into the bathroom and need to get ready, or jump into the shower and somebody forgot to replace the soap. I've lived in this house, Galanda, for what, 14 or 15 years? And every time that happens, not that often, but often enough to be annoying, I will come out of the tub soaking wet and reach around the corner and realize now I got to wrestle with this package to get the soap that Costco, I guess, decides I got to do 3 levels to get it. Let me tell you something. Last week, it dawned on me. You know what, Rushni? You don't have to do that.
Nope.
Hello? Little things like that. I went right out to Amazon. I measured the space. I bought a perfectly, a nice, tall, nice looking, clear container with a
Mm-hmm.
handle. And it came yesterday and I happily put it in my bathroom. I took all the soaps out of the package. They're all in little individual plastics
Mm-hmm.
and threw them in the bin so that they were easily accessible.
Yep, exactly.
Pushed them in, threw all the packaging out. And then all I did was walk into the bathroom. I showed it to my husband. He goes, "Oh, now we've never discussed this issue." He goes, "Oh my God, that's going to be so much better." Now, why were we doing that for 14 years? You can, little things like that, you guys.
Little
You
things.
begin to
Very
create,
small.
like I always tell people, I'll be like, create a good day, create your life. You begin to create your life. Little things.
Exactly. Little things. Like even, I'm not nearly on camera as much as you are. However, I am an earring person. So I put on earrings every day. Whether I have on sweats or a cute shirt or nothing, I have on cute earrings
Mm-hmm.
every single day because it is the thing that makes me feel lifted, that makes me feel good. And it takes 2.5 seconds for
Yeah.
me to decide which earrings to put on,
Well, y'all see,
whether anybody sees me or not.
I was coordinated. I went to the eye doctor last week and he made a comment about the type of glasses I was looking for because I'm looking for cute glasses and it's difficult to find the ones that fit my face, long story, whatever. And I had on my little ensemble. Like when you guys see me filming, this is how I'm walking around my home. It was an intentional choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching my son dressed like this. Anytime y'all see me on camera, I did not get dressed for you guys. I got dressed for Rushni. Just so you know.
Okay.
Okay,
Hello.
hello.
Yes.
So I'm in there and he's like, "Well, you should get these types of glasses." And they were ugly. I'm not going to lie. What he was telling me was the Midwestern specials. And I was like, yeah, I chose these for functionality. I'm trying to choose my other glass frames for like fashion, for cuteness.
Right.
And he was like, "Well, you're at home all day. Nobody's going to see you." Exactly what you did is what I did to him. I went like this. Now, let me just give y'all a picture. Dusty rose head wrap. Y'all know how I do. Okay, blue shirt. Hello, with
All
the
right
matching
now.
earrings.
Come on now. Come
And
on.
colorful blue and rose and yellow pants.
Come
Palazzo,
through.
tall people pants to the floor. Hello, cute. I mean, just jewelry. Hello, I like, and I'm sitting there and I looked at him and listen. I said, "Sir, I'm going to see me." I said, "I'm sorry. I don't know if you see how I'm dressed right now. I got dressed this morning and I've been walking around my house like this." And he just kind of looked at me and because in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to see me. And when I
Agency
look
over
across,
yourself.
hello, when I look in the mirror, I want to see Rushni. I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, "Ooh, girl, you don't even take care of yourself. Ooh, girl, you've been wearing pajamas for 7 days. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
girl," because that's what depressed Rushni used to do. So anytime I get in that flow, like on the weekends, I let myself relax. During the weekdays, I'm actually wearing, I can't show y'all right now because it's a little scandalous. I bought these little booty shorts. They match my
We already saw them. Well, in the coaching group, we saw them with your little dance.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're the yellow. They're the yellow for the pink. Okay, so if you saw my last video, I went because hello agency over my life. I bought those
Okay.
pink pants. Galanda, wait. I bought those pink pants because I was going to Jamaica in 2019 before the pandemic, and I needed something to put over my bathing suit. They were with the bathing suits, and last week the Holy Spirit said, "But ma'am, you could put them booty shorts on in the house." I said, "I will," and then I did a dance. And then I liked them so much. After I did that dance, I went on Amazon and I bought the yellow, and I'm wearing it right now. And if my husband wouldn't kill me, I'd twerk it out. I'll show you how the top. Wait. Look at me.
Just little peek, little peek, little peek, little peek, just a little peek.
But it was the same choice. I was like, these shorts make me happy.
All of this is the joy for yourself. I think, one thing that I talked about with a friend of mine that I never realized until, after several conversations with her is that we move through this world around our relationship to other people instead of moving through this world with our relationship with ourselves.
Galanda, you and I are having parallel lives. When I tell you I just had this conversation with a coaching client this week, was it yesterday? The most important relationship is you. You can't provide it to them if you aren't doing it for yourself.
For yourself.
How are
Absolutely.
you? The reason you can't give it to them is, girl, practice on you.
Mm-hmm.
Grace,
Absolutely.
grace for you. Practice looking good for you. Practice
Absolutely.
calming down for you. Practice talking nice to yourself for you. Whisper sweet nothings in your own ear.
Okay. Listen, I have bought more makeup during the pandemic than I have bought the previous 5 years
Mhm.
because I'm cute for me.
Hello? He was like, nobody's going to see you. I said, I'm going to see me. He looked at me and I looked at him like, I don't understand what you just said. Does not compute. Does
Absolutely.
not compute. I am wearing these expensive palazzo pants around my house. Long tall Sally pants ain't cheap. And I was like, anywho, by the way, okay, so I could sit here and talk to you all night because you know I
Yes.
love you so much, but I do want to honor your time. It is 7 p.m. Audrey asked, let me see if I could go back up. She said, does Galanda have I lost it. Does Galanda have a YouTube channel?
I don't have a YouTube channel, Audrey, because
So this is a
am
wonderful
not
thing.
I'm
Tell me
not
where they can find
listening.
you.
I'm not listening to spirit and I'm doing too much other stuff. But
Oh, Audrey just gathered you up because you're supposed to have a YouTube channel. The source told you were supposed to have it and you didn't do it.
the spirit been saying I should be visible more, and I have
And
not
okay, so
been
I will
obedient.
say this though. She is very consistent with lives on Instagram. You get one every, a couple of
About
months.
every week, about one a
Every
week.
week? Okay, right. Like I told you, I'm behind. Whenever I see you, I mark you as save and then I get back later. I'm a second service person. So if you want to listen, girl, because I'm intentional about my time. And I'd be like, I
Yeah.
can't watch Galanda right now. I have to teach my son how to do how to tell time. But yeah, so if you want to see her beautiful face and hear more of this incredible wisdom, Instagram is where she goes
Yes.
live, and then she always posts them to her account as well. So you can go back and watch the replay. Like
Yeah,
right?
they're on IGTV for sure, so you can go back.
Awesome. Okay, so Galanda, in closing, my question to you is define joy.
Ooh. So when I think of joy for myself, joy feels like spring.
Hmm.
It's new and things are popping out. And for me, joy is actually a color. And I realized this in my coach training when I don't know some exercise we are doing, and I was like, joy feels like orange to me. Like I feel like when I move the world and I am trying to spread joy, that I am shooting out little joy bombs on
Little
people.
yellow pineapples at people.
Yeah, so you got you look yellow pineapples, and mine are just little orange bursts of joy. Joy is the contentment in where you are,
Mhm.
right? It's not looking for what else is coming next or what happened, but the joy is in what you have and what I'm grateful for in this moment.
That's nice. And that is
Yeah.
very much in line with my working definition of joy. So I appreciate you adding to my joy and coming to talk to me today and being introduced to my audience. You guys, we have been talking with GalandaB. She is the mindset strategist. I am going to get off this live because I want to honor her time. If you want to find her, where should they go?
www.galandab.com, or if you're on social media and you feel more comfortable there, I am GalandaB everywhere.
Wonderful. And I have added her link to my link. So if you go to whatever you're watching me on, you go to the flow page link. She's out there. I will keep her up until end of Sunday, and then I'll take it down so you can find her that way. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for tuning in.
I know. Bye. And follow Galanda. Make sure you tell her, let me see thank you, and then apple. So she knows it's real. Hello, hit her with the door. You're welcome, Avro. All right. Bye, you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night and be safe all.
Right. Bye.